Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where today I'm going to talk about a topic that I know is going to help you, is going to accompany to your process, to the process of your soul. This topic is about destiny because not everything is written in a stone, but we know that there's things that need to happen. There's things that are destined to us, and we need to pass through those things, persons, or situations in order to learn something. And we're going to talk about the destiny triad, how I call it. There are 3 points that will help us to know ourselves. 3 points that everybody needs to be aware in order to know yourself better. That at the end of the day is the source of all spirituality. Know yourself, know what is happening in your mind, be aware of your thoughts, be aware of your emotions, be aware of everything that is happening with them so we know better ourselves and we can disarm the ego that is the construct of the mind that make us experience duality, pushing us to darkness, to experience our own shadows so we can come back to light. So the ego is an instrument of evolution necessary so we can come back to light, so we can equilibrate that information. And when we disarm the ego is when we can connect with our heart, with our true essence, and put the mind at the service of the soul and make that communion that everybody talks about, the communion between the mind and the souls, to have that coherence. Because, well, we put the mind at the service of the soul, at the service of the real path of the soul. As I say before, not everything is written in a stone. Some things need to happen for us to learn something, for us to equilibrate something. That doesn't mean, well, that everything is destined. The body that we incarnate, our soul, even though that is the body that attached to the soul and not the opposite, but well, I left that for another video. The thing that we have this body in this existence is our destiny. And what we do with our body is our free will. And here I want to explain you exactly what is free will, because we normalize free will as our capacity to take a decision. But the reality is that we don't choose anything. Everything is chosen by our inner vibration, is chosen by resonate, is chosen by the resonate of our inner vibration, the vibration of our being. So if we are vibrating through our ego, we can think that we are choosing by ourselves, but we don't. We don't choose anything when we are under the control of the ego in the mind. And precisely when we discern the ego is when we start to activate our real free will. And our real free will is the capacity that I have to handle my inner vibration. Because at the end of the day, the vibration is going to connect with a frequency, and I'm going to attract and I'm going to manifest everything that is in that frequency. If we want to activate our free will, we need to start to change our vibration. But for that, first, we need to disarm patterns of the ego that has been with us for generations. And I'm going to talk about the 3 most important points that generate those all patterns of the ego. The first one is the ancestral burden that we inherited from our ancestors. And this one is very important. Why? Because it generates beliefs in which we're going to be loyal to those beliefs. It works with the synchronicity of the universe, of the cosmos, depending on the learnings or the lessons that we need to equilibrate in our individual psyche and in synchronicity with the collective consciousness, with the collective psyche with the things that we all need to equilibrate as a collective consciousness. But in this case, our ancestral boredom is completely programmed exactly with the algorithm that the parents of the ego are going to manifest in our life so we can learn from that. The second and no less important is the environment where we had been raised. And well, that means our family and everything that is related with our family. Because from the moment we born, someone in our family or the person that take care of us is going to give us a name, is going to give us a religion if they are religious. They're going to give us some friends that we don't choose because they're going to put us in the school that they want, nor in the one that we choose because we don't choose anything. Under 7 years old, we just absorb all the energies, and our free will is completely set down. That doesn't mean that we cannot change our vibration because we can, but not consciously. What we do, what kids do from 0 to 7 years old is only adapt their vibration to the environment that they are in. And well, this point generates a strong burden in the creation of beliefs that we're going to be loyal to. Because, well, in this family, we believe this or believe that. But remember that a belief is to think that something is true, even if it's not. And it's super important to remember that because belief is not the same than faith. But well, I believe is something that is necessary to live in this third dimension of consciousness, to live in this plane, and also to experience the ego. Because it's when we discern the ego that we start to first reprogram, later transcends, and later transmute all those beliefs. And we start to live above those beliefs, not being identified by those beliefs that the family imposed to us. And it's in that moment when we start to disarm the ego and we start to connect with our true essence. We start to discern that we call an illusion, but well, the mind make it real because the belief made real everything. And the third point is the tendencies of the personality. And you can think and you can ask me, well, but the tendencies of the personality are completely, created and based by the environment where I've been raised or by my ancestral boredom. And well, in part yes, in part not. There's tendencies of your personality that are unique for you. And I saw that every day in astrology. Astrology is for me one of the best instruments, the best practices to know yourself and to know those tendencies of the personality that tell me which energies are you more polarized with and the energies that you are less polarized with. And well, at the end of the day, everything is about an equilibrium. So these 3 points, the ancestral boredom that we inherited, the environment where we had been raised, and the tendencies of the personality create this unique cocktail, how you define yourself. And these 3 points are the 3 points that generate all those patterns of the ego that you need to work with in order to combat to your essence. Is the way that you're going to experience darkness, those inherited beliefs, those adopted beliefs from your family, and of course, all those beliefs created by the tendencies of your personality that, believe it or not, most of them have been, not inherited, but they are necessary to equilibrate the burden of the ancestors and to equilibrate the beliefs that we create because of the environment that we have been raised. And these 3 points that generate the patterns of the ego are very important because they're going to be manifested by destiny as a light and as a darkness. Because, of course, not everything that we inherited is called bad, and not everything that we inherited is called good. But we need to be aware about everything that make us feel inferior or superior, because that's the way that the ego is going to manifest by destiny those all patterns of the ego, those patterns that we have been inherited and that we created by the tendencies of the personality or by the environment that we have been raised. Because, well, when we start to discern their ego, is when we start to activate our free will. We connect with our soul, we connect with our heart, and we start to change the vibration. And when we change the vibration, as soon as we are letting behind these old patterns, we started to change the vibration to do the communion between the mind and the soul. So we can put the mind at the service of the soul and not at the service of the ego. We connect with higher frequencies that will help us attract the destiny of our souls. We will connect with that destiny, that path that we need to walk to develop the purpose of our existence in this time. Well, I hope I explained well. I know my English is not the best one to explain all these concepts, but it's what I have. And well, I hope that you understand. I know if you want, you already discern some all parents of your ego. You're not going to be looking on my English, but you're going to be listening the message. That is the most important thing always. Well, I hope that you have an amazing day, and I hope this information serve you well. If you have any comment or any question and you want for me to talk about more to clarify this information, you just need to tell me here in the comments. And well, overall, I hope that this information resonate with you. Have a wonderful day. Ciao.